Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel Leela Web Dev. So in the previous video, we have learned how the Node.js runs in only one core only we have seen it, right? Now in this video, let's check that how many CPU cores are you having in your computer. So Node.js provides the OS module to interact with the operating system. So now if you try to see os.cpus function, it is the function that tells you how many CPU cores are available. So I will try to show you. Just I will create a new file, something like cpu-info.js file, cpu-info.js file. And in this one, what I would be trying to do it is, here I will create a new file I have created it. Let's try to import the OS require node-os. So fine. So now constant CPUs is equal to os.cpus. So now if you try to use it, so here you can use the CPU info and all those things. So here I can copy this one and I can paste it here. So the total CPU cores which I would be the total CPU cores is CPUs.length, and also we can able to see the CPU info also. Let's try to run this one. Let's go to our terminal. Let me clear it off. And here I will run node cpu-info.js file. Now if you try to see, I am using the Apple M4. So here the total CPU cores I am having is the 10, and the CPU info of the each core you will be able to see. Fine, right? The CPU.length gives you the number of logical CPU cores you are having. So here I am having the 10. So now so now each element in the array is an object like model Apple M4 and the speed 2400 megahertz it will come, and the times you will be able to see the user. So these are the things you will be able to see it. So why is this important? So why you may be having doubt that why I am showing the CPU cores and all those things. So when using this cluster module, we typically create one worker per the core. So right now I am having the 10 cores means, so I will start 10 instances of the Node.js. So I can run maximum 10 instances. Why? Because Node.js uses only the one core, right? So I can create 10 cores of this one. So we can typically create one worker per the core. So we don't overload the system or underuse it. This means you will usually write something like cpu.length, and I will loop over one by one, and I will create the and decide how many worker process to spawn it. So let's try to see how we can create this one. So now the cluster module normally, so here I will try to create another file that is nothing but cluster.js file. Okay. So this is the normal server.js file which runs in one core. Now I am creating a cluster.js file. So now the cluster module lets us create a master process, also called the primary process, and it will fork the worker process, each of which run a copy of your server and use different CPU cores. So here for utilizing this one, so what I can do, so here I will be using this cluster is equal to require of node cluster. Okay, so this is the cluster which you will be using. So now you need to understand one thing. So whenever you are creating the process, the parent process you will be having, and you will be having the child process. Okay, you will be having the child process, and the child process doesn't the parent process, once it is created, the parent process only will create all this. From the same code we will be creating the child process. So here we need to check. Let's try to get the number of CPUs, how many you are having. So that is nothing but os.cpus. We need to get the OS. So let's try to get the OS also. Constant OS is equal to require of node OS. Sorry. So we got the OS also. And here I can do something like number of CPUs. So what are the CPUs we are having? os.cpus. So we got the CPUs and also the length. The total number of CPUs I am getting it. So now I am getting the number of CPUs as the 10 or something like that. So now what I would be trying to do it is, so here, so whenever, let's try to guess this one, number of CPU. Yeah. So what I would be trying to do is, if cluster is primary, so if the cluster is primary, okay, by using this cluster only, we need to do this one. So now here, how I would be trying to do it is, if class, so you will be having a method, sorry, a property that is nothing but is primary. If the cluster is primary, if the cluster is primary, or else if it is not primary means then you will run the require of server.js. Directly I am using the server.js file. So here the require server.js file is nothing but the entire code. So this entire code is running. So now here what I will be trying to do, so if the cluster is primary, so that means the primary cluster has been created. So now here you can able to see console.log process dollar process dot pid is running. So that is the main. So let's try to see this one. So let's try to execute this one, whether we can able to see this. So let's try to node cluster.js file. So here you'll be able to see the process 2019 is running. So that means one Node.js is running. So that means you can able to check the local host and all those things. So here if you want to check it, so here if I try to refresh this page, it is just running. So now, okay, the parent will not bind it. So now when you need to create the worker, so now here you'll be able to see that cluster is running. Like whenever you run this cluster will be running. Now what you need to do, so now here when the cluster is running, so you need to loop over the same thing, you need to loop over the thing, and you need to fork the same code. Okay, let's try to loop over for let I is equal to 0. Let I is equal to 0, I less than num CPUs and I plus plus. So here what I would be trying to do, the cluster dot fork. So I am trying to execute the same process, the same logic, the same code we are trying to do it. If you try to mention the file name or something like that, means it will execute that particular process. But here I am trying to create spawn the same code. So now here if it goes to here, it will not be primary, then it will try to create the server here. So now if you try to check it, now let's try to run this code. So here I will be running this code, node cluster.js file. See here, so now the process 2079 is running, the primary server is running, and all the worker threads are running. So here you'll be able to see 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10. Now each process is running in a separate core. Now if you try to check the activity monitor, so here if I try to type node, so you'll be able to see that 10 cores are being running. So 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8 9 10 11. 11 is the what is the node? So one is the that node server which we are running it. So here we are able to see that everything is running. So now we are able to see that 10 are running it. Okay, so this is what I will be able to this is what I was trying to tell you. So here you, if you want, you can also able to take the process ID also. So if you want, you can also run the process ID also. If you want, let's try to this is all the worker code. So if you try to see, this is all the worker code. Now here if you want to get this one means, so here you can write something like console.log process.pid. okay, so I can run this process.pid. if I try to run this code again, so you will be able to see these are all the process which are running 213 2139 2126. So 2130 like this it is running. So here you will be able to see, or otherwise let's stop this one, and here the all the node will be gone. So here if you try to see this process, so here I will be running this one. Yeah, let's try to run this again. Now if I try to run this one again, so now here you will be able to see the process 2104. This is the what I mean to say, the primary process, and these are all running which are running 2149 52 54 53 56. So here 50, so 55. So this depending on the things, so you'll be able to see. Now if you try to see the activity monitor, so these are all the process IDs. So here you'll be able to see, so here you will be able to see 48 is the 2148 is the primary thing, 49 50 51 52 53 54. So these all are which are running are the worker threads. So these are all the worker Node.js instances. So now I'm having the 10 cores, all the 10 cores are running the Node.js thing. Now what will happen is, so for example if you go here, and if I try to refresh this page, so it will work without any problem. Now if I am running this heavy, right? So now this one will be busy, right? Now if I try to go here and if I do localhost hyphen, oh sorry, localhost colon 3000, if I try to do it, so this one also gives you then output local host. So now if I try, this one is giving output, and if I refresh this page, so now here you will be able to see this is also giving an output without any problem. But now if you try to see here, one Node.js instance will be using CPU. So here which one is using the CPU, I don't know. So already the output came, I think. Try to see. Yeah, I will try to run it again. I will try to run it again, this heavy thing. Now let's try to see the CPU. See here, the one node process is taking something around 26. So now it has been decreased. So now remaining all Node.js instances are idle, right? So it is ready to take the request. So that is what I would be trying to tell you. So let me explain you each line by line so that you can able to understand it. Here, what I was trying to do here, I am trying to take the cluster module. Okay, so this loads the nodes built-in cluster module, and it is used to create the child process from the primary process. So here from the primary process it will be creating the child process, and remaining all HTTP module, these all things you know. So OS module also you have understood. So now here when you are calling the os.cpus.length means, so it will call the os.cpu to get an array of CPU core info, and .length gives you the number of logical CPU cores that you are having in your machine. We will use this number to decide how many workers process we need to fork it. That is the main thing. Now here we are checking with the cluster.isPrimary, checks if this process is the primary process or not, the original one started by the node. So the original one. So here in earlier node versions we used to have isMaster, but in the latest after 16 we are having isPrimary. Now we are logging of the primary process. So process.pid. Okay, this is the primary process which we are trying to do it. And here we are looping over each one, and we are trying to cluster.fork starts a new node process running the same script. So here if you try to run this one, so the same script will be running as a worker process, as a node process, but this time isPrimary will be false all the time when you are trying to fork. So the time the isPrimary will be false. So each fork becomes a worker running the HTTP server node. So each fork will become a worker. So that is the main thing. So now, for example, let's say that when a cluster, so we are having all the Node.js instance, right? One of the worker is exited, or it has been failed, or it has been died means, so you will be able to get something like cluster dot on off exit. Okay, so if one of the worker has been died, so you will be able to get the worker information. Okay, and also the code why it has been entered, and also the signal. So signal, what is the signal, you will be able to get it. So now here you can say that console.log. So here worker dollar of worker dot process dot pid died. So you can able to get it. So now if I try to run this one, let me clear it off. And here if I try to run this one, so server is listening on the port, so all the instances are running it, right? Now if you try to see here, one of the Node.js instance, I will try to delete, so I am doing it. So here you'll be able to see that generated. Okay, so I have main primary only, I have killed it. So let's try to run this one again. Let's try to run this one again. Node.js cluster. So here 2236 is the primary process. Oh, remember 2236 is the primary process. Now here let's go here, and what I will try to create that, I will try to delete the 2241 only. So here I am deleting this one. So if I delete this one, automatically what we will be able to see it is, see worker 2241 dies. So that means whenever one of the thing has been died, so you will be able to get notified that the worker has been dead. So if a particular Node.js instance is being exited or anything with any reason means, so here you will be able to see this event will be invoked. So that is the main thing. So this listens for the exit event on the cluster. If a worker process dies, that means example crashes or anything, so this callback runs. So you can log the worker process ID. You can also restart it here if you want to run the, if you want to restart means you can again restart it. So those are all the things we'll try to do. So we'll try to see it in our next videos or something like that. So now the else part is, so this block runs in the worker process. So this is all the thing which will run in the worker process after the cluster.fork is called. Since is primary is false, the code runs for each worker. So this require of server means nothing but the entire code you can copy it and you can paste it here. Instead of that one, just I am running the server here. So that is the thing. Each worker creates an HTTP server. So every request, it responds with a simple message and its PID. So when you curl or refresh the browser, so you'll often see different PIDs showing different workers handled it. So that is the main thing. Okay. So now all workers listen on the port 3000. So that means they can share on the same port. So here if you try to see, so that means 10 times this one is running means, so all the workers listen on the port 3000 and they can share the same port. The OS or node's internal load balancer distributes the incoming requests across all the workers automatically. So now whenever you try to request this one, so for example, let's say that here you are opening this heavy thing, so it will go to one instance and you are running means, so this one will go to another node instance. So that means depending on the internal node will have an internal balancer and it will distribute the internal traffic. So whatever the things across all the workers automatically. So each worker logs its PID, when it is ready. So that is the thing. So now we are able to understand this one. So now you may be having a doubt that how can all the node process run on the same port, right? So you may be having this doubt, how can all the node process run in the same port, which condition executes? So here you can able to see that, so all the node instances are running on the TCP port 3000. You have already told me that in our previous videos we have already learned that if you use this port 3000, so once means, so when you start a Node.js another program or something like that with the same port, you'll be able to get that internet IP address, E address already in use, something like that. So how can this cluster that port, so the different node instance can able to share the same port? So we'll try to see it, next video about this one. I hope that you understood about this cluster concept, so what it is trying to do. If you have any doubts or any suggestions, please post the comments below to this video. And if you like this video, please do support me by subscribing to my channel. Thank you.